followed by Scorpion at 9, and then NCIS Los Angeles at 10. And then stay with us for WLKY News at 11. A Central Kentucky police officer shot a suspect who refused to drop a weapon that turned out to be a pellet gun. Georgetown officers were called to the house around 1:30 this morning after they say the suspect slapped his 5-month-old child and choked the child's mother. The police chief says that officers ordered the man to drop the weapon, but instead he pointed it at them.
It wasn't until after the subject was under control and first aid was being given that he at some point removed the weapon from his pants to examine it and found out that it was a pellet gun.
The suspect will be charged with assault. The officer is on administrative leave. A picture of a young couple reconnecting after they were involved in a car crash in Tennessee has gone viral. The college students were on their way back to Nashville from Florida after Christmas break. Hunter Hanks came to as his pickup truck was seconds away from slamming into a bridge support. He's at home recovering in Florida, but it's the photo of the couple, here it is, reuniting at the hospital, that has touched the hearts of social media users.
Anybody who looks at that photo could tell obviously something happened, and both of us were making sure each other were okay.
I mean, we've gotten hundreds of messages just telling us that our story is what, brought them out of a really, really dark place in their life, and it changed their life.
Both suffered from concussions, but they're going back to school this week. Police in New York are looking for a 5th suspect in a reported gang rape in Brooklyn. 4 teens already are in custody. Officials released surveillance video they say shows the attackers at a store before the incident. The 18-year-old told police that she was walking with her father last Thursday night through a playground when the group approached them, pulled out a gun, and made her father leave. The woman says that the teens each took turns raping her. The teen in custody, they all range in age from 14 to 17. A Maryland appeals court indefinitely delayed the trial of a police van driver charged in the death of Freddie Gray. Jury selection was supposed to start today in Baltimore in the trial of Cesar Goodson. He's the second of 6 officers scheduled for trial. The manslaughter trial of Officer William Porter ended in December with a hung jury. Goodson's case has been complicated after a judge ruled last week that Porter must testify against Goodson. Dozens of dogs and cats were rescued in a Kentucky hoarding case. Now a group is helping those animals get adopted. How you can help out, that's next on WLKY News. All right, here are the numbers from Wall Street, and for the first time in over a week or the new year, it's a little mixed bag. The Dow was actually up 52 points today. The Nasdaq down, however, 5 3/5, and the S&P 500 was up 1.64. The Honda Civic is the 2016 North American Car of the Year. The model has seen its ups and downs through the years. Its 2011 design was bombed by critics. Then a makeover in 2012 put it back in the good graces of Consumer Reports. But Civic sales fell last year, while rivals including Toyota Corolla and Hyundai Elantra had banner years. Now the Honda Civic is back in the sporty redesign. The Civic also won the title in 2006. Tonight, we're learning new disturbing details about an animal hoarding case in LaRue County. The sheriff says 102 animals were removed from Jane Embry's home. What's worse, we're told they found several dead cats in her freezer. She now faces dozens of animal cruelty charges. As WLKY's Morgan Lintus found out, many of the dogs and cats taken from the property are on the road to recovery.
Yes, I know, Betty. I know I love you too. Yes, I do.
Just a few weeks ago, life was very different for this dog. It and dozens of others lived under one roof. The staff at Barktown Rescue were there the day investigators removed more than 100 animals from this Magnolia home.
I've never seen so many animals in one house in my life.
Since starting the shelter in 2009, Suzanne Bridwell says Barktown Rescue has helped almost 2,000 animals find homes. Now their main focus is on the 28 dogs and 11 cats they took from that LaRue County home.
We see great dogs all the time. I mean, these are really good dogs. I think we're even shocked at how socialized they are and how friendly they are.
She knows animals that come out of these situations often have many hurdles to jump. In this case, though, she says they're lucky. The majority of the animals are healthy and mild-mannered. Still, she says a couple have tested positive for heartworm, and many were in dire need of a cleaning.
That's the first thing we did. When we got here to the building that night, we had 10, 15 volunteers waiting for us, just ready to give baths.
And now that the dogs and cats have clean coats, staff here hope people will find it in their hearts to take these animals home.
We have adopted 3 so far, and it's tears of joy when these dogs and cats get adopted.
Morgan Lintus, WLKY News.
Now, if you would like to adopt one of the animals, you can find out how. Just go to WLKY.com. Jane Embry will be in court next month. The Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus is ending its elephant acts a year and a half early. The parent company of the traveling circus said that it will stop using the animals in May. The animals will be permanently retired to the company's 200-acre Center for Elephant Conservation in Central Florida. Last year, company executives said growing public concern about how the animals are treated led to the decision. Number 1 versus number 2. Tonight, college football will crown its national champion. Fred's here with more. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Rick. Hello again, everybody. Tonight at 8:30 in Phoenix, Alabama is a 6-point favorite over Clemson in college football's national championship game. The Crimson Tide, the Southeastern Conference champion, one of the sport's blue bloods, credited with 19 national championships overall since records started way back in the year 1869, along in 4th place on the all-time list. Now, the Tigers, the Atlantic Coast Conference champion, the blue-collar guys trying to crash the party, just 1 national title, tied for last on the all-time list. Alabama is trying to continue what's becoming a modern-day dynasty, going for a 4th title in 7 years. Even more challenging playing in the SEC, the best league in college football. It's got Heisman Trophy winning running back number 2, Derrick Henry, who's run for over 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns this season. Bama's also known for its defense, ranked number 1 in the country. The Tide have a 12-1 record to come off an impressive 38-0 national semifinal win over Michigan State. Clemson's waited 34 years for this one, now within 1 win of their first national championship since 1981, trying to become the first major league team in the sport to finish a season with a 15-0 record. The number 1 team in the USA, unbeaten in 14 games, including a win over Louisville. Tigers are known for their offense, led by dual threat quarterback number 4, Deshaun Watson. In 2015, combined for 4,700 yards and 43 touchdowns. And one of the many storylines, Tigers head coach Dabo Swinney is an ex-Alabama player, was part of the Tide's 1992 national title team.
It's a big game. There's no doubt for every player that's created an opportunity to play in it on both sides. But you got to focus on the next play and do what you have to do your job to help your team be successful.
What would that mean? It'd mean we're the best ever. That's what it would mean. And who's going to argue with that? Somebody, one of y'all will. But you'd lose in a court of law. I'll promise you that. I'd love to be the lawyer on that one. Because you know what? I ain't never been a 15-0 team.
Also today in the new AP Writers Poll, UK basketball's 14th, U of L's 21st, and IU's 27th. More on that coming up in 30 minutes. I'm Fred Cowgill, WLKY Sports.
Fred, outside right now, all is quiet. I mean, it's on the cold side, don't get me wrong, but the radar scopes are looking just fine around the viewing area. Matter of fact, we've got some clearing going on as the sun is now setting. It will be quiet for the better part of tonight, but we are watching some snow up here in the upper Midwest. That's expected to be over us by tomorrow morning. A light accumulation is likely. We'll break that down for you in weather. That's coming up next.
Now, your WLKY weather with Chief Meteorologist Jay Cardosi.
All right, quiet but cold weather late on this Monday afternoon. Now that the sun is going down, temperatures will start tailing off just a little bit. It's not going to be as cold as last night. Nonetheless, live look out there from the Bristol Restaurant in Jeff, looking back towards Louisville, the 2nd Street Bridge, a very quiet, cold looking Ohio River right now. You know, we're hovering right around 32 degrees in the metro. Very representative, upper 20s to near 30 across a good chunk of the viewing area. And the numbers will hold fairly steady through the overnight as clouds begin increasing. As far as the radar scope is concerned, as you can see, not much happening in our area, of course, with these clear to partly cloudy skies, but this is what we're watching off to the north. This is our next bout of wintry weather that's on the way for mainly tomorrow morning. It's an Arctic cold front that's coming in from Canada, will slip down into the Ohio Valley by tomorrow mid to late morning. And as it passes through, it's going to kind of do its best to squeeze out some of the moisture in place and give us some light snow. For that reason, National Weather Service has issued the winter weather advisory for just about all of the viewing area. This starts about 4 to 5 a.m. and goes right through early afternoon tomorrow. I think by that time, 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, just about everybody will be done with the accumulating snow, but the temperatures will really start to drop off tomorrow afternoon. Hour by hour, here we are right now. We're 7 o'clock tonight. We're just fine. No worries if you have some evening plans. Midnight or shortly thereafter, there could be a little bit of flurry activity in the air, but it's tomorrow morning, anywhere from 5 to around 7 to 8 a.m. Looks like the first batch of light snow could overspread the region as the cold front approaches. That'll be one batch. As the Arctic front moves in mid to late morning, there could be a narrow, heavier batch of snow with that. That too will rapidly race off to the southeast. By midday or shortly thereafter, you can see skies will be clearing, but it will turn windy as the temperatures really start to drop off. As far as snowfall amounts, again, not a big storm, folks, but you know the drill. Just like yesterday morning, it didn't take much to slicken up the roads. And yes, there could be some slippery spots tomorrow morning, so allow some extra time to get to your destinations. Across much of the viewing area, a dusting up to 1 inch, and this would include the metro, where there's a little bit more dynamical forcing in the atmosphere. In other words, things are a little bit more favorable. In our northern communities, wouldn't be a bit surprised to see spotty 1 to 2 inch amounts, but that should be just about it. And then the temperatures will really start to drop off. Best chances for the periods of light snow tomorrow, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. Watch out for a few slick spots, then it turns windy and cold tomorrow afternoon. We'll be hovering in the upper 20s and low 30s this evening with increasing